Welcome back! Today I am going to be sharing a full tutorial for how to make these super cute mini nursery wall hangings, nursery decor wall hangings, but I call them nursery decor because I made them in brighter colors, but today I'm going to show you a neutral version which you could definitely add to any room in the house. It's a super fun, easy make. So what you're going to need today is a wooden dowel about 8 inches, 6 to 8 inches, and I think it's a 1/4 inch in diameter. So you're going to need one of these. I'm going to link all the materials below, but you're going to need a wooden dowel. Today I am using a 5.5 mm my Furls Tunisian crochet hook. I think this one is ebony and maple. I will link it below as well. You'll need a yarn needle, a pair of scissors, and a measuring tape. And the yarn I'm using today is Mighty Stitch from We Crochet Official. I will also link to that as well below. So you'll also need a contrasting color yarn. I'm using Mighty Stitch in cream from We Crochet Official, and this is optional, but you can use a smaller regular crochet hook to add on the dowel in the end. I'm just using my Clover Takumi 5.5 mm double-ended Tunisian hook, but you could use any regular hook. I'm just using this because it's on hand and it's short. Basically you just need a short hook so you can pull up loops and add on the dowel. So let's get started. So I am going to chain 19 to begin with, right? Leave a little bit of a tail here. Oops. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. All right, so you're gonna do 19 stitches. All right, so I've chained 19 and I am going to work the honeycomb stitch. Again, this pattern is for a really fun stash busting challenge that's being hosted by Hortense from Knitting with Chopsticks. I've linked to the roundup below. You can get a bunch of really great stash busting patterns for free for this whole week. So okay, so the first row, what we're gonna do, we're just gonna do the foundation row first. So we're just picking up the loops. I'm gonna do a normal return pass. So alright, so I've done the normal, I've pulled up all the loops in my forward pass. Now I'm just going to do a regular return pass, and this is my foundation row. Okay, and remember we are working with 19 stitches for this pattern. Alright, and then this is a 2-row repeat. It's my favorite stitch, the honeycomb stitch. So in the first row, what we're going to do is do a simple stitch in the first stitch. The first stitch is this stitch here that you never work into because the last loop on your hook. And then in the next stitch, in the next vertical bar, you're gonna pick up a loop, and that is your Tunisian simple stitch. And then we are gonna do a purl stitch on the next. So the way we do this is we bring our yarn to the front, and then we are just gonna hold it in place like this and just do a purl stitch. I have separate videos for each of these stitches if you want to take a closer look. I'll link them, and you can click the eye on the side and go to them. Then you're going to repeat that across. So simple stitch, and then purl stitch, simple stitch, and then purl stitch. Oops. Purl stitch, and then we're going to do simple stitch, purl stitch, simple stitch, and a 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 purl stitch, and then simple stitch. And then we are going to go through both loops on the last stitch here, under both of the loops, and that is your last stitch. And then again do a regular return pass. So we're just gonna do a normal return pass like we normally do. And then the second row in this repeat is you're going to start with a purl stitch. And the way I like to think of this is you are basically stacking alternate stitches on top of each other. So in the previous row we had done a simple stitch here, so we're going to do a purl stitch. Again, holding there on the front and doing that. And then you're going to go into the purl stitch and you're going to do a simple stitch. So the second row repeat is Tunisian purl stitch, Tunisian simple stitch across. Alright, so we're just going to follow that pattern. I'm going a little quickly here, but I am linking to the other tutorials as well so you can see. Simple, purl, simple, purl, simple, purl, simple, purl, simple, purl. Right? And then the last one, you're always gonna just work it as normal. Go under both loops. So you can start to see the stitch forming. It looks so beautiful, the pattern. I love this stitch. And the best thing about this stitch is that it lays flat. No matter what yarn you work with or what hook, I have noticed that it will always lay flat. I have yet to come across a pattern that when you use the honeycomb stitch, it doesn't lay flat. So I love that about this, because a lot of people complain about Tunisian crochet and that it curls a lot, but with this stitch I haven't seen much curling. So okay, so row 1, we're repeating row 1, just simple, purl, 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 simple, and then work into the last stitch as you normally would. And then do a normal return pass. Oops. And then we are going to purl. So we're doing the second row in the repeat with just Tunisian purl stitch and then Tunisian simple stitch. And you're going to continue that across. Alright. Again, remember it's like stacking opposite stitches on top of each other. And then alright. So for this pattern, we are going to continue this 2-row repeat until we have 9 inches, until our piece measures 9 inches, and then I'll meet you back for the next part. I am absolutely loving this texture. Just take a look. It's so beautiful. Alright, I'll meet you for the next part. You're not going to bind off once you're at 9 inches for this pattern because we're going to draw up loops into each of the stitches and just add it on to our dowel. And let me show you what I mean by that. Alright, so now I'm going to be showing you how to attach the wooden dowel. So you're just going to take your hook out from your first loop and just transfer this loop onto your dowel and tighten it. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go into each stitch, whoops, make sure it's tight, or hold it in place until you get, yeah. And then we're just going to go into each loop and work a simple stitch and then transfer it over the dowel like that. So we're going to continue doing that across. Just slip it over and tighten. Make sure you're tightening the stitches onto the dowel. Like this. Tighten it. Tighten it over. And I switched to my smaller, shorter hook because it's easier. Just work simple stitch and transfer it over. Make sure you're getting all the stitches because sometimes the purl stitches hide. Just transfer it over and make it tighter. And then I'm going to pull up a loop, transfer it over, and tighten it. Okay. Transfer it over and tighten. Transfer it over, tighten. Transfer it over and tighten. Just going to continue this across like so. Just remember to tighten because so that it stays on. That's it. That's all there is to adding a dowel onto your finished Tunisian piece. Super simple. And then make sure you we're almost at the end here. Grab a loop and put it over. And tighten. And then the last stitch we're going to work as normal under both loops. Go under both loops and then transfer it over. Oops. Transfer it over to the dowel like so. Tighten. And there we go. Now your project is attached to the dowel, and then you're going to leave and just count your stitches. Make sure you have 19. And then we're just going to cut about a 6-inch piece, like a tail, leave a 6-inch tail, and then cut the yarn. And that's it. That is how you attach a dowel to your Tunisian piece. Okay, before we actually get into the pattern, I'm going to show you a close-up of what I mean when I say go through the simple stitches diagonally, or whichever way you want to go. But I'm going to bring in my yarn from the back to the front, starting at the corner here. So, and I'm going to leave a bit of a tail so that I can weave it in later. And then what I mean when I say go through the diagonal, you can see the diagonal line forming with the simple stitches here. Just follow along with me here. So I'm going to go through this. I'm going through the next diagonal simple stitch, then I'm going through the next diagonal simple stitch, and then I'm going through the next diagonal simple stitch. And this is the last one before you get to the very top. This is before I've worked the entire piece, but just wanted to show you guys a close-up of what I mean. So this is what I mean when I'm talking about the embroidery, just going through the diagonal simple stitches. And then we can work this way. Again, you can see the diagonal simple stitches are going this way. So I'm going to go into the next one over just to show you guys. And then just follow the diagonal line again. So 1, 2, 3, right, and 4, and then just go into the back like so. So we have a little mountain here, but I just wanted to show you guys a close-up of what I meant. So basically you're going through the diagonal simple stitches. You're just going through them diagonally. That's it. It's very simple, but it creates a really different and nice texture or look to the project. And please get creative, and I'm gonna love seeing all the different versions. Get creative. It's a free form, you know, pattern. You can create anything. This is basically like your canvas, the honeycomb background. All right, so that is a close-up, and then now I'm going to show you the rest of the pattern. And then I'm going to show you how I'm going to embroider the stripes on here. So you could probably already see like diagonals if you just look, you know, from afar. Basically what we're going to do is we're going to go into every other stitch. I'm going to go into the simple stitches that go diagonally and create that diagonal look. And you do something similar for the arrows. So let me grab a piece of my contrast yarn. Alright, so we just need like a, and if you want less ends to weave in, we can just go through the back and come back to the front. You know, try and do something like that. So let's do this. I'm gonna cut a, maybe like a 24-inch piece. Let me see. Start with that. Alright, so this is 24 inches. I'm gonna start with that length and see if I need more, I will grab it. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're taking this piece of yarn, we're gonna leave a little bit of a tail, like, I don't know, like 6 inches, 4 to 6 inches, just enough to weave it into the back when we're done. So basically starting from one of the corners, let's start from, okay, so let's start from the third stitch over, count from the bottom from your foundation chain, and you're going to go into, if you see there are these 3 diagonal simple stitches, and we're just going to weave our yarn through those. And again, we're going to leave a bit of a tail at the end here so that we can weave it in to the back like so. Alright, so then, alright, just follow diagonally, just follow the stitches, and you're just going to pick up the simple stitches diagonally. I think there are 4 until we get to the corner. Okay, so just pick them up and work your way across. Oops. Alright, and then go into the 4th stitch here and through the back. So go through there, so you can see it's giving this really nice stripe effect here. And then we're just going to go through the back. If you don't want to weave in the ends, just continue through the back. So let's go up 2 stitches, and we're going to go, okay, so I'm going 1, 2 rows and then go up this way, and then we are going to just pull it through there, and then just go. It's pleasing to the eye, like it's a nice contrasting pattern. Alright, so then we're gonna go back into here. So let's skip over. So we did, like, you know, 3, how many? So we started with this one here, so we're doing 3. We did 3 stitches in between. So again, let's count 1, 2, 3, and then go into this 4th one here from behind. All right, and then just follow, and then we're gonna follow again the diagonals. So we're skipping one diagonal line in between and just going in like so. You can get creative with this technique if you want to do it, you know, horizontal stripes or, you know, vertical stripes. You can get creative. Just make sure you're skipping one row in between, and just do it that way so that it's even, and it looks really nice. So I'm going through all these and pull up. Oops, this one's kind of getting tight. So then, and then we're just gonna go through, I think, one more, and then go through the back, these 2 loops here. There we go. And then you're just gonna continue doing that all the way. And, you know, if you need more yarn, grab another piece of like 24 inches and then just work your way all the way to the top. And I will meet you back for the next part. And then I'll show you how to do the arrow as well. So, alright, so you're going to locate a stitch where you want the point of your triangle to be. So that's where this will be. And then you're just going to count how many stitches below, or how many rows below you have to start to get to that center point. So let's say, okay, so it's our center, and then we're just going to go through this line here and then go into that point. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm gonna start in the 7th row below it, and then again, like the previous pattern, we're just gonna leave a little tail so we can weave it in. So let's get started. So I'm just gonna go up 1, 2, 3, 4, oops, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then I'm gonna go into this 8th. This is our point right here. So then we're just gonna weave this strand in, and then that same way we're just gonna go down the other side. It kind of clashes with this stripe that I had done, but it's basically, you're just following the same. So you're going to go through the same row exactly opposite of that row, so it's symmetrical. But again, doesn't have to be perfect. This is supposed to be fun. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it would go through this as well. I'm just going to go through it. Let's see. I'll pull it out after a bit, just so I can show you guys. So it'll be, oops, we missed one here. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, oops, 6, and then it'll be 7, and then the 8th is the one where we're gonna go behind. So just like that, and then you're just gonna pull this strand as well. So you have, it's more like a mountain than a than a pointed triangle, but again, like, it doesn't have to be perfect. And if you want it higher up, you could just, you know, start up here and do that. But, you know, arrows or mountains, whatever you want to call it, I'm actually kind of liking this, so I'm just gonna leave it. And then we could just, you know, you could continue doing the mountains this way, or just do the stripes, whichever pattern you prefer, and then just weave in the remaining ends into. And I'm just gonna maybe do 2 more stripes this way or something, you know, just just for, like, maybe these could be like shooting stars or something. I'm going to start from the middle here. Basically, in order to do that, you're just gonna weave your yarn into the back and just, you know, start in the center somewhere. You don't have to, I'm just weaving it into the back so that I can start. Okay. So I'm just gonna start in this stitch. So I'm just gonna poke through the back here, and I'm just gonna get into this. Like, I'm just gonna pull my yarn strand to the front, and then just do maybe, I'm just gonna do 2 so that it's like it's just one here, and then I'm just gonna go into the back, like that, and then just do maybe 1 over here or something, and that's it. I'm just gonna go like this. You can get really creative and do, you know, any type of design really with this technique. I would love to see your creativity. Please share with me. If you do post on Instagram or Facebook or something, tag me, and I would love to see what you guys come up with. So this is a very free-form, free-flowing pattern. Just get creative. So anyways, that's how we do the embroidery. That's the sort of concept or idea I had with it. And then the last part is really just adding fringe, you know, tightening this and just weaving it in, and then adding a little, you know, string here, or you could like do a chain or something, but I'll just add a string probably. I'm just gonna tie 2 knots here and just add a string. So what I'm gonna do basically is just, with the brown, take it and maybe cut like a 12-inch piece, and then I'm gonna leave like a few inches, like 3 to 4 inches on either side. I'm gonna weave those in, and I'm just gonna add it on here. I'm just gonna tie a knot, and then, yeah, I'm just gonna probably tie a knot onto this on the back here to turn it into a wall hanging. Just gonna tie a knot and then do the same on the other side. I'm gonna leave maybe, I don't know, same amount of yarn on the other side so that we can hang this up somewhere. And I'm just gonna, yeah, just gonna tie a knot. Just tie a knot again on this side. I'm probably gonna leave some more yarn. Okay, and then that's all you do. And then just, okay, so I've tied a knot on either end. I'm just gonna weave those in, and then just hang this up somewhere. It's gonna be really cute. Okay, anyways, I'm just gonna do the fringe. I'll show you how so first let me weave in all these crazy ends. I have so many ends to weave in, but it's worth it, because it's gonna look really great on the wall. I'm really excited. All right. All right, oops. So I'll meet you back once I've woven in all the ends, to add the fringe or the tassels, whatever you prefer. I think I'm just gonna add fringe this time. So when you get to like a little bit left on your strand of yarn, just make sure you have enough to weave in this last part of the yarn into the back, or leave it as fringe over here, because we'll be adding fringe as well. But make sure you have enough to either weave in the ends or leave it as fringe, so that it doesn't get undone. Alright, so I've woven in all the ends into the back of my work, and then basically what we're going to do is we're going to attach some fringe along the edges, along the edge right here, with a short edge at the bottom. And I feel like I'm going to do a mix of brown and white, because that is what I had previously done. Okay, I need to get my white yarn. It's cream, not white, but and what we're gonna do is we are going to cut about 8-inch pieces. So I'm gonna do a rough estimate. Doesn't have to be exact again, right? But make sure they're all the same length. So I'm just gonna keep going like this, just cutting about 8 inches, like so. Notch them up. I don't think we need so many because it's just 19 stitches across. I'm going to do maybe 19 strands and then just do alternating. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then again with this you can also get creative, you know, use different colors if you'd like. I want to see all your different versions because everyone brings their own maker perspective to how they make a project. So I would absolutely love to see all of that come out. 10, so that's 9, and then 10 and 11. I'm gonna just roughly write 10 and 11. 12 and 13, 14 and 15, and then 16 and 17, 18, and 19. We are almost there. 18 and 19. All right. Okay, so now we have our 19 strands. I'm going to put these aside because we are done using the main yarns. So I'm going to just take, okay, let's see. I'm going to start with brown, I think. So I'm going to do brown, white, and just alternate along the edges here. So I'm going to take this, and for this part, remember using the smaller hook may help. So I'm just gonna find my corner here, corner stitch, and then just attach my fringe. So I like to do this with the front of the yarn facing me, and just pull it through. There you go. There's the corner fringe or tassel, and then we're gonna do white and just continue across that way. Just go into the next stitch. Okay, there we go. Just going into the next stitch, and the last part is optional, but it definitely does make your finished product look nicer, especially if you're adding the fringe. If you steam block it, it's gonna be very nice, and it's gonna look really nice. So just keep going, just alternating your fringe across, and then I will meet you back once we are at that point. Alright, so this is what the finished piece looks like, the wall hanging, minimalist wall hanging. I hope you enjoyed learning it. I did something a little bit different. For the fringe, I added double strands on the ends. So I did both the brown and white to make it a little more even and just, you know, make it look nicer. And then I did seam block. So I did give it a little seam, and so look how straight and nice the fringe is. So this is it. I hope you enjoyed making this with me. Please share your versions and get creative. You could do a lot of different designs on this with this type of embroidery. And I am linking everything below, the blog post with the pattern, where you can grab it for free. You'll be able to grab it for free as part of the stash busting challenge, which is going on for the whole week, and there are some other really great stash busting patterns as well that are available for free. So make sure you go check that out, and as usual, follow, like, subscribe, comment, do all of the great stuff, and I will talk to you guys later. And yeah, if you haven't, definitely go watch my live streams. I'll be going live on Thursday, tomorrow, with Yarn Geek, Ginger from Yarn Geek. I'm really excited about that, so make sure you tune in if you are watching this before it happens. All right, I will catch you guys later. Thanks so much.